गिरिधारी शिष्य राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्य ललित विष्णु विष्णुपाद अशत रशत स्मर भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्य ललित विष्णु विष्णुपाद अशत रशत स्मर भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्य ललित विष्णु विष्णुपाद अशत रशत स्मर भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्य ललित विष्णु विष्णुपाद अशत रशत स्मर भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्य ललित विष्णु विष्णुपाद अशत रशत स्मर श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। परमहंस चूड़ामणि परमहंस कुल स्वामी श्री श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। त्वदीय पार्षद वृंद की जाय। जय श्री नित्य प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गोरक्षरदास बाबूजी महाराज की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानु गौरिया गुरु वार्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम जय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदाति गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्यामा कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय. And I think for some of those, for those of you in on the other side of the world, it is still Srila Saraswati Thakur's disappearance day, isn't it? So Nityala Pravishta Nityala Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. One second, let me find this. Srila Prabhupada recording. It's in downloads. Where is it? Here it is.
Hare Krishna.
Whoops.
Mahāsab ki jai, sab ki jai. Goswami Maharaj Śrī Śrī Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki Tirobhav Titi Mahāsab ki jai. Śrī Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki Tirobhav Titi Mahāsab ki jai. Śrī Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki Tirobhav Titi Mahāsab ki jai. Thank you very much.
जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय. श्री वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय. द गौड़ीय वासुदेव श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Hare Krishna, everybody. Dandavat pranams. Niri Hari Prabhu and Papatarani Mataji and Kishore Krishna Prabhu and who else? And anybody else who's joining. Dandavat pranams. I see there are 3 other people there on YouTube and Facebook, but I don't see your names. So Dandavat pranams to you. So, and Happy New Year, everybody. I hope this 2024 is filled with filled with Hari Katha and deepening taste for Harinam and service to the Vaishnavas, association with Vaishnavas, and yeah, Jai Ho. All right, so Oh yeah, and thank you so much, Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji and Kishore. You were also there, right? In the first session that we had, the focus session. Yeah, I there were so many people there. I wasn't, and I didn't know if anybody like if people just wanted me to end it really quick, so I didn't like acknowledge anybody or anything like that. I just said Dandavat Pranams and I stopped it. But I was
No,
very
that was
happy to.
great. That was good because it dealt because it's different formats. So I thought
Yeah.
it was proposed just perfect, and I love the
Okay.
scenery, the little cow, and the clock. The sand clock,
Yeah.
the timer.
Sand running out.
The timer,
Sand.
those kartals are of that disappearance day. Like of
Oh,
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disappearance day. That was the kartals of Srila Prabhupada playing the kartals then. That
oh
was
yeah, that's neat. And I liked of course, now that you put this voice, and honoring our Param Gurudev, or your Param. How you say Param Gurudev or Param? Your great grandfather.
Parameshti. Wait, yeah,
Paramit. Yeah.
Parat
Is it?
Paraguru.
yeah. Param Guru, Parat Par Guru, and Parameshti, right? I think so.
Guru, Param Guru, Parat Paraguru, Parat Paraguru, Parameshti Guru, Parameshti Guru, like that.
Jive, guitar, you're so precise. I love it. Very good. That's very important. Yeah. So happy inauguration of the new program. That was great.
Thank you.
Something woke me up and says, "Oh my God, it's 5:30. It's time." I missed it. I thought I had missed it.
Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen and we will begin the program. Begin doing Mangala Charan. And happy Haribo Vidyalala Sadidi. Oh yeah, and thank you so much for being there as well. Okay. Oops, wrong one. Okay. Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ajanulambita Bhujau Kanakavadato Sankirtanaikapitaro Kamalayataksho Vishwambharo Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Namastrikala Satyaya Jagannatha Sutaya Cha Sabhrityaya Saputraya Sakalatraya Te Namaha Jai 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 Vishwambhara Dvijaraj Jai Vishwambhara Priya Vaishnava Samaj Gaurachandra Jai Dharma Setu Mahadhir Jaya Sankirtana Mai Sundara Sharir Jaya Nityanandir Bandhava Dhana Pran Jaya Gadadhar Advaitera Prema Dham Jaya Shri Jagarananda Priya Atishay Jai Vakreshwar Kashishwarer Hriday Jai Jai Shrivasadi Priya Varganath Jiva Pratikoro Prabhu Shubha Drishtipat Madhya-khaṇḍa Katha Jeno Amriter Khanda Je Katha Shunile Ghuche Antar Pashanda Madhya-khaṇḍa Katha Bhai Shuno Ekachitte Sankirtana Aramba Hoilo Jeno Mate Tavaivasmi. Oh, dear brothers, please hear attentively the topics of Madhya-khaṇḍa, wherein the inauguration of the Sankirtan pastimes is described. Tavaivasmi, tavaivasmi, na jivami tvaya vina. Iti vigyaya devi tvam nayamam charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshai, kshiptashtakamaditaranga madhe. Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charanarvindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Now the glories of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata and Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur from Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita. Ore mura loko shuno Chaitanya mangal, Chaitanya mahima jate jani beshakal. Krishna lila bhagavate kohe ved vyas, Chaitanya lila vyas Vrindavana das. Vrindavana dasa koilo Chaitanya mangal, Jahara shravane nashe sarvaya mangal. Chaitanya nitar jate janiye mahima, Jate jani Krishna bhakti siddhanter sima. Bhagavate jata bhakti siddhanter sar, Likhiya chen iha jani koriya udhar. Chaitanya mangala shune jadi pashande javan, Sheho Mahavaishnava hoy tatakhan. Manushe rachite nare aiche granta dhanya, Vrindavana dasa mukhe bhakta Shri Caitanya. Vrindavana dasa pode koti namaskar, Aiche grantha kori teho tarila sangsar. Narayani Chaitanya ruchishta bhajan, Tar garbe janmila Shri dasa Vrindavan. तार की अर्बुत चैतन्य चरित वर्णन, जहाँ श्रवण शुद्ध कोइलो त्रिभुवन. सहजे विचित्र मधुर चैतन्य विहार, वृंदावन दास मुखे अमृतेर धार. वृंदावन दास मुखे अमृतेर धार. By nature, all the activities of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and sweet. And when they are described by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Jai Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai. The Gaudiya Bhashya of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki Jai. Jai Swapashad Shri Gaura Hari ki Jai. Shnitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Shriman Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Okay, so now, well, it's still, I was thinking that, oh man, maybe I should have read had another reading by about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. But then I think, actually, it's nice to be able to read his Gaudiya Bhashya as well on his appearance day, because for me it's the next day, but for I think many of you in the West, it is still Srila Saraswati Thakur's disappearance day. But yeah, on this auspicious day of his disappearance, we pray that we can absorb ourselves and follow his instructions, and just hear this in the proper way, take his instructions and his teachings in the proper way, with the mood of prayer and submission. And we're so fortunate that we get to spend probably almost a whole year, we're going to be reading his divine purports to Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata. So Jai Ho, Jai Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki Jai. Okay, so now we'll read the Kathasar written by Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, and today we're going to conclude our reading of chapter 8, which we've been reading the past 3 days now. Okay, so brief synopsis. This chapter describes Sri Nityananda's stay at the house of Srivas, Malini's service to Nityananda in the mood of Vatsalya, Mahaprabhu's test of Srivas's love for Nityananda, Srivas's firm faith in Nityananda, Mahaprabhu's benediction on Srivas, Nityananda's performance of various childhood pastimes, Mother Shachi's dream, Mahaprabhu's invitation to Lord Nityananda, Nityananda's lunch at the house of the Lord, Mother Shachi's vision of their opulences, Gaur and Nitai's wonderful ecstatic mood, Mahaprabhu's ride on the shoulders of a singer who sang the glories of Lord Shiva, the Lord's resolution to perform congregational chanting at night, the Lord's nightly Sankirtan pastimes at the house of Srivas, the atheists' various envious statements, Mahaprabhu and his associates' kirtan behind closed doors, Mahaprabhu's climbing on the throne of Lord Viṣṇu, and his eating in a wonderful mood. When Mahaprabhu was engaged, so now it's the more in-depth synopsis. When Mahaprabhu was engaged in enjoying various pastimes in Navadvip, Nityananda Prabhu lived at the house of Srivas. Due to constantly remaining in the mood of a child, Nityananda did not eat with his own hand, so Malini affectionately fed him like her own son. In order to test Srivas, Mahaprabhu one day asked him why he allowed Avadhut Nityananda, whose caste and character were unknown, to live in his house. In order to protect the prestige of his family and caste, he should not allow him to stay in his house. In answer to this, Srivas informed Mahaprabhu that one who has worshipped Mahaprabhu for even a day is certainly dear to him. Moreover, Nityananda Prabhu is non-different from Mahaprabhu. Even if Nityananda held a pot of wine and associated with prostitutes, or even if he destroyed Srivas's caste, life, and wealth, still, Srivas's faith in Nityananda would not be disturbed for even a moment. On seeing Srivas's firm faith in Nityananda, Mahaprabhu became greatly pleased and gave him the benediction that even if Lakshmi Devi herself, she happened to beg at any time, Srivas would not face any poverty, and that even the cats and dogs in the house of Srivas would have unflinching devotion in Mahaprabhu. Thereafter, Mahaprabhu entrusted Srivas with the full responsibility of caring for Nityananda and returned home. Nityananda Prabhu continued to wander throughout Nadia. Sometimes he swam in the waters of the Ganga, and sometimes he enjoyed unlimited bliss by floating in the current of the Ganga. Sometimes he would visit the houses of Murari or Gangadas, and sometimes he would go to the house of Mahaprabhu. Whenever Mother Shachi saw Nityananda, she showed him great affection. When Nityananda, in the mood of a child, tried to touch the lotus feet of Mother Shachi, she immediately ran away. One day, Mother Shachi had a wonderful dream. While narrating the subject matter of the dream to Mahaprabhu, she said that both Mahaprabhu and Nityananda entered the temple of Viṣṇu as 5-year-old boys. Then Nityananda held Krishna and Mahaprabhu held Balaram, and they began to quarrel with each other. In anger, Balaram and Krishna asked Gaur and Nityananda to leave the temple room because they were unauthorized. Nityananda replied that in the previous Dwapar Yuga, Krishna and Balaram had full authority to perform all pastimes, but in the present Kali Yuga, they had no right whatsoever. Therefore, Gaur and Nitai alone were qualified to accept all the offerings. Both Balaram and Krishna then said that they would bind Gaur and Nitai, confine them to the temple room, and leave. In this way, they went on quarreling and began to eat the foodstuffs that they snatched from each other. They even snatched it from each other's mouths. Like they'll be eating it, they'd grab it out of his mouth and stick it in his mouth, and they had this very quarrelsome food eating. When Nityananda Prabhu addressed Shachi Mata as mother and he begged her for rice to mitigate his hunger, Mother Shachi's dream came to an end. After Mahaprabhu heard the description of the dream from Mother Shachi, he forbade her to disclose it to anyone. The Lord said that the deities of her house were directly the personality of Godhead, and they eat half the foodstuffs offered to them. He had previously had some doubt whether Vishnu Priya was eating that portion of the offering, but now that doubt was removed from his mind. It says Lakshmi Priya here, but when we read it, it's Vishnu Priya. So therefore, Nityananda should be invited and fed. Thereafter, Mahaprabhu went to Nityananda, and while inviting him for lunch, the Lord forbade him from manifesting any kind of restlessness. In answer to this, Nityananda said that only a madman plays mischief, and Mahaprabhu thinks everyone is like himself. While speaking in this way, they both arrived at the house of Mahaprabhu and sat down together with their intimate associates headed by Gadadhar. After Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu washed their feet with the water offered by Ishan, they both sat down together to eat their meal. Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu appeared just like Sri Ramachandra and Lakshman. When Mother Shachi served them food on 3 plates, they began to laugh. On seeing the characteristics of Krishna and Balaram in the bodies of Gaur and Nitai, Mother Shachi fell unconscious to the ground, whereupon Mahaprabhu helped her regain consciousness. In order to perform various pastimes in Nadia, Mahaprabhu visited the houses of the devotees and manifested his different forms to the different devotees. One day, as a singer played his small drum and sang the glories of Lord Shiva, Mahaprabhu manifested the mood of Lord Shiva and climbed on the singer's shoulders. Later, after regaining his external consciousness, the Lord got down from his shoulders and gave him sufficient alms. The singer was very pleased and returned home. Thereafter, Mahaprabhu called his associates and expressed his desire to perform Sankirtan every night. According to the Lord's desire, the pastimes of Sankirtan began. On hearing the Sankirtan, the atheists began to criticize and spread rumors in various ways. When Mahaprabhu fell forcefully to the ground during the kirtan, Mother Shachi became worried and prayed to Krishna. She said, "Although Mahaprabhu does not feel any pain while falling forcefully to the ground, an affectionate mother cannot tolerate it. Therefore, may he not feel any pain." Mahaprabhu realized the internal mood of his mother. So, from that time on, Mother Shachi remained fully absorbed during the Lord's Sankirtan pastimes, and she would not know anything. As a tumultuous kirtan was begun in the courtyard of Srivas on the day of Harivasar, Mahaprabhu began to manifest various transformations of ecstatic love. Since, by the order of Mahaprabhu, the door of Srivas's house was locked from inside during the performance of the Sankirtan, the atheists were unable to enter the house, and they began criticizing Mahaprabhu and his associates with various harsh statements. That's where we read up to yesterday. They were just beginning their criticisms of Mahaprabhu and his associates. And that's going to be like a big portion, maybe half of our reading today is going to be that, seeing all the statements that the atheists made against the devotees. The devotees of Mahaprabhu ignored such statements and remained intoxicated in the pastimes of Sankirtan. Remember before when the atheists were criticizing the devotees and causing all these problems? We remember hearing about the depression, like the deep distress of the devotees on hearing this. But now that Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan pastimes has begun, they just ignored it. They're like, whatever, let them say what they want to say. I don't care. Like that's what it seems like, at least. Just as the long night of the Ras Lila pastimes appeared as a fraction of a second to the gopis, the devotees who were intoxicated by Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan pastimes passed their nights absorbed in the same way. One day after kirtan, Mahaprabhu took all the Shaligram Shilas on his lap and sat on the throne of Lord Viṣṇu. He manifested his glories to the devotees and began to eat the various foodstuffs offered by them. In this way, the Lord ate foodstuffs sufficient to feed 200 people. he again demanded more food. The devotees were unable to offer any more foodstuffs, so they simply offered him some betel nuts. Thereafter, Mahaprabhu requested Advaita Prabhu to ask for a benediction. In this way, after some time, the Lord fell unconscious to the ground. Later on, he regained external consciousness and began to perform kirtan. In this way, Mahaprabhu continued his ecstatic pastimes in Navadvip. Okay, so we read up to verse 236 last time. And let's just go back a few verses. Okay, I'm going to read from this point on. This point on, okay. Okay, so there's such a beautiful description of Mahaprabhu in the Sankirtan, in Srivasa's house behind closed doors. As Mahaprabhu Vishwambar danced in his own ecstasy, the movement of his feet sounded most enchanting. Due to the Lord's absorption in ecstasy, his garland did not remain on his neck, but scattered at the feet of the devotees. I'm going to skip parts. Now the Lord raised his arms and his face, and he cried in separation. Great personalities like Shiva and Narad give up their opulence and wander about as servants of the Supreme Lord, the Lord, who himself now gave up all happiness, took a straw between his teeth and begged for devotional service. One who gives up such service and desires something else is like one who gives up nectar and desires poison. Why does a person who does not describe the glories of devotional service recite or teach Srimad Bhagavatam? Those who teach the scriptures without understanding their purport are simply carrying the burden of the scriptures like asses. In this way, they carry the burden of the scriptures without understanding their purpose. They present irrational meanings to irrational audiences. The Vedas and the Srimad Bhagavatam declare that the service to the Lord is the greatest treasure. Lakshmi, Brahma, and Shiva are always engaged in such service. Anyone who does not believe in the words of Lord Chaitanya cannot attain him. What more can I say? Lord Sri Gaurasundar danced in the mood of a servant as the enchanting sound of kirtan vibrated in the four directions. While listening to the kirtan, Advaita Acharya sometimes lost consciousness. He took straw in his hands and approached the Lord. He covered his entire body with grass and kept some on his head as he frowned while dancing. Everyone was frightened on seeing Advaita Acharya's devotional service, but Nityananda and Gadadhar simply laughed. In this way, Sri Gaurasundar, the life of the entire universe, danced. He repeatedly expressed unlimited varieties of moods. The son of Shachi manifested many wonderful transformations of ecstatic love that are not found or heard of in Srimad Bhagavatam even. Sometimes his entire body was stunned in such a way that no one could even slightly bend his body. Sometimes that same body became slackened in such a way that it became as soft as butter without any bones. Sometimes his body appeared to double or triple in size, and sometimes it appeared to shrink. Sometimes he was intoxicated in such a way that he tottered like a drunkard, and sometimes he swayed back and forth while laughing. Seeing all the Vaishnavas, the Lord called each of them by the name they bore in their previous birth. he addressed him, Haladar, Shiva, Shukadev, Narad, Prahlad, Rama, Aja, Uddhav. In this way, the Lord revealed their actual identities by speaking about them in various ways. Srila Saraswati Thakur says, in his Gaur pastimes, Sri Gaur Sundar called out to the former names of his associates who participated in his previous pastimes. By doing so, he ascertains the identity of his associates. All the Lord's servants happily watched as the Lord displayed his unparalleled ecstatic love for Krishna and his unparalleled dancing. Aparupa Krishna Vesha, Aparupa Nritya. Oh, Haribo, Raseshwari Mataji and Ganga Mataji. Only those who had previously entered the house of Srivas were allowed to see those pastimes. The door was firmly locked by the order of the Lord. The ordinary people of Nadia were not able to enter. On hearing the loud kirtan, people came running, but being unable to enter, they stood at the door. Thousands of people clamored, "Open the door quickly! We want to see the kirtan!" All the Vaishnavas were so absorbed in the ecstasy of kirtan that they were not aware of their own bodies. So what did they know of others? The materialists, being unable to enter the house, they spoke harsh words outside. Someone said, "These fellows beg to fill their bellies. They are ashamed of being recognized, so that's why they don't open the door." Someone else said, "That is the truth. Otherwise, why would they cry out for 24 hours like that?" So that's where we read up to yesterday. Haribo Mahibharat Prabhu and Shubhananda Prabhu Dandavat Pranam. Okay, so today we're going to be reading a lot of what the atheists, their remarks against Mahaprabhu and the devotees, and then how Mahaprabhu sat on Vishnu's throne and started to take all the devotees' offerings. Keho bole satya satar eshe utar. Wait, did I read I'm pretty sure I read this. Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah. Keho bole satya satar eshe utar, nahile ke mone dake e ashta prahar. Someone else said, "That is the truth. Otherwise, why would they cry for 24 hours? Keho bole are bhai madira aniya, sobe ratri kori khai loka lukaiya." Another person said, "Oh brothers, these people bring wine and drink at night, unseen by others." Gaudiya Bhashya. Some people thought that the door was closed because those inside wanted to bring wine and drink at night to avoid the embarrassment of being seen by the public. Keho bole bhalo chilo, nimai pandita. Nimai pandit bhalo chilo. Tar keno narayana, koilo heno chitta. Another person said, previously Nimai was bhalo chilo. He was a good person. Why has Lord Narayan changed his heart like this? Tar keno Narayan koilo heno chitta. Keho bole heno bhuji purver sanskar. Keho bole shanga dosh hoilo tahar. Someone said, "I think this is due to his previous activities." Someone else said, "This is due to bad association." Gaudiya Bhashya. Someone said, "Since Nimai Pandit has been affected by bad association, he has closed the door in order to engage in sinful activities hidden from the view of ordinary people." Niyamaka bappa nahi tate ache bai, eto din shangadoshe tekilo nimai. He does not have a father to guide him, and he is afflicted by gastric disorders. Now Nimai has become affected by bad association. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word niyamak means a guide or director. Nimai does not have a guiding father or guardian. Moreover, he is afflicted by gastric disorders. Therefore, some bad elements have induced him to act unjustly. The word bai, derived from vayu, means gastric disorders, madness, or insanity. Keho bole pasharilo shab adhyayan, masik na chahile hoy avayakaran. Someone said, he has stopped all studies, and if one does not study for a month, he forgets all grammar. Gaudiya Bhashya. If one does not study grammar for a month, he automatically forgets all the Shastras. Therefore, Nimai Pandit has forgotten all the lessons of grammar. Keho bole are bhai shab hetu pailo, dwar diya kirtaner sandarbha janila. Ratri kori mantra pori pancha kanya ane, nana vida drava aise tasabara sane. Bhakya bhoja gandamalya vivida vasana, khaya to sabha shange vivida raman. Bhinna loka dekhile na hoy tar shanga, ete ke duar diya kore nana ranga. Someone said, "Oh brothers, I know the secret why they close the door and perform kirtan. At night, they recite mantras to bring 5 girls along with various palatable foods. They eat, they wear sandalwood paste and garlands, they dress in fine clothes, and they enjoy with girls in various ways. If other people saw this, they would be embarrassed. Therefore, they enjoy behind closed doors." Gaudiya Bhashya. Someone said, "We have found the real reason why the doors are closed. They bring 5 kinds of girls at night through mantra and engage in various types of enjoyment with them while eating palatable foods and wearing sandalwood paste, garlands, and fine clothes. In order to avoid being embarrassed by people, they close the door and become intoxicated by various sinful activities." Keho bole kali hok jaibo deyane, kankale bandhiya shab nibo jane jane. Someone said, "Let tomorrow come, and we will go to the court and have each and every one of them tied around the waist and arrested." Gaudiya Bhashya. Someone said, "Tomorrow we will submit a complaint against the court. Those engaged in sinful activities behind closed doors will have their hands tied behind their backs and taken away." The word dayane, from the Persian word divan, means royal assembly, religious court, or court. The word kankal means waist or middle of the body. Je nachilo raja deshe aniya kirtan, durbikha hoilo sab gelo chirantan. There was never any kirtan in the state before, but these people have ruined everything here by introducing kirtan and causing famine. Gaudiya Bhashya. They have introduced Hari Kirtan, which is never heard before in this province, and they placed obstacles in the happiness and prosperity of materialistic people. As a result, famine has broken out, and the happiness of ordinary people has been destroyed forever. The word chirantan refers to that which has been going on unchanged since time immemorial, that which is traditional or that which is ever existing. Haribol, Pradyumna Prabhu, and Mantra Murti Mataji. Deve harile kabrishti jani ho nishchoy, dhanya mari gelo kari utpanna na hoy. Know for certain that because of them, the demigods are not showering rain, and the paddy fields have dried up, and no one can make any money. Gaudiya Bhashya. Because of their mischief, the demigods are not supplying sufficient rain to produce grains, and as a result, the paddy fields have dried up. Therefore, destitution and poverty has overcome the entire country. Kani thako shivaser kali koro karja, kali baki kono dekho advaita acharya. Just wait. Tomorrow we will take care of Srivas, and see what we do tomorrow to Advaita Acharya. My God, now they're even saying about Advaita Acharya. They're speaking like that. Gaudiya Bhashya. Someone said, they cannot go on doing such activities for long. Therefore, wait 1 or 2 days. Let us see what we can do to them, and let us see what we can do to them. Kotha hoite ashi Nityananda avadut, Shivaser ghare thaki kore etorup. We do not know where this Nityananda avadut came from. He stays at the house of Shivas and enacts all these dramas. E mata nana rupe, dekhaye na bhoy, anande Vaishnava sab, kichu na shunai. Sorry. Although the materialists threatened the devotees in this way, the Vaishnavas were in ecstasy and did not hear anything. Keho bole brahmaner nahe nritya dharma, puriyao e gula koroi heno karma. Someone said, dancing is not appropriate for Brahmins. Why do they engage in such activities even after studying the scriptures? Gaudiya Bhashya. Among those non-devotees who were averse to Lord Hari, one proud learned person said, it is not the duty of a learned Brahmin to dance. This is the profession of low-class people. It is lamentable that even after studying the scriptures, they have introduced such a low-class profession in the Brahmana community. Keho bole e gola dekhite na ju jai, e golar sambhashe shakala kirti jai. Someone else said, they are not fit to be seen. By conversing with them, all of our piety will be lost. Gaudiya Bhashya. Someone said, by seeing such people, all the previously acquired merits of a Brahmin are destroyed. Therefore, one should never see their faces. O nrita kīrtana jadi bhalo loka dekhe, she e mata hoy, dekho parateke. If a gentleman sees such dancing and chanting, he also becomes like them. Just see for yourself. Gaudiya Bhashya. If good people see such dancing and chanting, in other words, if they happen to see out of curiosity, their minds will be twisted. The clear proof of this is their increasing numbers. It's like they're brainwashing everybody, right? That's what so many of the of all of Nri Hari Prabhu and Pavatarani Mataji's god brothers and god sisters, lots of their parents were saying this kind of thing, weren't they, about the devotees are being brainwashed, and they try to get them deprogrammed. So this is the same kind of things happening during the time of Mahāprabhu. Parama subuddhi chilo nimai pandita, egular sangetar heno hoilo chitta. Previously, Nimai Pandit was most intelligent. Now, by the association of these fellows, his mind has been changed. Keho bole atma vina shakshat koriya, dakile ki karja hoy, na janilo iha. Someone said, they have not realized the self. They do not know what their loud chanting will yield. Gaudiya Bhashya. Someone said, without realizing oneself, how will one benefit by simply calling out, Krishna, Krishna? Apana sharira maje ache niranjan, ghare haraiya dhan, chahe giyaban. The Supreme Brahman is present within one's body. These people are just like those who lose something at home and search for it in the forest. Gaudiya Bhashya. The Supreme Brahman, who is untouched by sinful activities, resides within. The Supreme Brahman, who is untouched by sinful activities, resides within the bodies of human beings. Therefore, these foolish chanters are searching for wealth in the forest rather than at home. So how will they benefit? Such statements from the Ahangropasaks, or self-worshippers, are example of the impediments in their ascertainment of the real nature of devotional service. Keho bole kon karja porer charchiya. Chalo sabe ghar jai ki karja dekhiya. Someone else said, "What is the use of criticizing others? Let us go home. What is the use of watching?" Gaudiya Bhashya. Someone said, "There's no benefit in discussing topics about others. Let us go and perform our own duties." Keho bole na dekhilo nija karma doshe, she shab sukriti ta sabare boli kise. Someone said, we could not see due to our past misdeeds. They are fortunate, so why should we blame them? Gaudiya Bhashya. Someone said, due to our own misdeeds, we cannot see the kirtan pastimes. Those who have received the opportunity to either participate in or see the kirtan are pious or fortunate. We are unfortunate. How can we criticize them? Okay, so there are some good people, some good people around. It wasn't everybody was negative. Shakala Pashandita, it's like Shakala Pashandi Tara Eka Chapa Hoya Eho Shei Gona Hino Buji Jai Dhaya. The atheists gathered together and chased that person away. Okay. The atheists gathered together and chased that person away, thinking he is one of them. The person who said that we could not see due to our past misdeeds. They are fortunate, so why should we blame them? So they chased that person away. He's one of them. Gaudiya Bhashya. When the atheists heard that statement, they unitedly chased that person away, thinking he is also part of that group. The phrase eka chapa, eka means combined and chapa means assembled, means assembled together or united together. O kīrtana na dekhile ki hoi be manda, shata shata bedi jeno kore mahadvandva. What is the loss if we don't see their kirtan? Their kirtan is like a big argument among hundreds of people. Gaudiya Bhashya. What is the problem if we do not participate in their kirtan? Their kirtan is just like a great argument among hundreds of people. The word dvandva means debate, quarrel, or fight. Kona japa, kona tapa, kona tattva gyan, tahana dekhiye kori nija karma dhyan. Chalo kala dugdha dadhi ekatra koriya, jati nasha kori khai ekatra hoiya. We do not see any japa, any austerities, or any cultivation of spiritual knowledge amongst them. They simply eat in their concocted activities, and they ruin their caste by gathering rice, bananas, milk, and yogurt and eating together. Gaudiya Bhashya. We do not find any trace of japa, austerities, or cultivation of spiritual knowledge among them. They concoct their own activities in meditation. They mix together rice, bananas, yogurt, and milk, and they sit together and eat, thereby ruining their caste. All these people of different castes, they all get together and eat. Parihashe asi sabe dekhi bar tare, dekhi o pagal gula kon karma kore. People came to see and ridicule them. Let us see what these madmen are doing. Eteke bolia shabe cholilen ghare, ek jai ar ashi ba jai duare. After speaking like this, they went home. As one left, another came and knocked at the door. Pashandi je dui dekha hoy, gala gali kori shab hasiya podoy. As soon as two atheists met together, they embraced and fell to the ground, laughing loudly. Gaudiya Bhashya. As soon as two atheists opposed to devotional service met, they laughed so loudly while discussing the devotees' activities that they collapsed to the ground. Puna dhori loy jai jeba nahi dekhe, Kehova nibrita hoy karo anurodhe. They would also go and bring others who had not seen what was going on. Yet some persons, on the advice of others, would refuse to go. Keho bole bhai e dekhilo shunilo, nimailo yasha pagala hoilo. Someone said, "Oh brother, I have seen and heard everything." Along with Nimai, they have all become mad. Dardur duri utia ache shivaser bari, durgotsave jeno shari she hura huri. It sounds like the tumultuous croaking of frogs or the wild celebration of a Durga Puja festival in the house of Shivas. Gaudiya Bhashya. It seems like frogs are croaking at the house of Shivas. They are excited and noisy, just as when people push and bump each other during the Durga Puja festival. Sounds like a Durga Puja festival in there. Hoi hoi, hi hi, hey matra shuni, iha shaba hoite hoilo, ajasha kahini. The only thing we can hear is hey hey ho ho. These people bring infamy on us. All we can hear is hoi hoi, hi hi. Maha Maha Bhattacharya Sahasra Jetai Heno Dhangaito Gula Voshe Nadiyai. Nadia has thousands of great exalted Bhattacharyas, yet such impostors also live here. Gaudiya Bhashya. Today in Nadia, where thousands of learned Brahmins reside, a few cheaters and impostors have become prominent. The word dhangaito or dhangati means a cheater, an impostor, a debauchee, or a thief. Shivas vamanare e nadia hoite, ghara bhangi kali loya pelai bosrote. Tomorrow we will drive the Brahman Shivas out of Nadia. Then we will break his house and throw it into the river. Gaudiya Bhashya. We should drive Shivas, the so-called Brahman who brings infamy to the Brahmins. We should drive that Shivas out of Navadvip. We will break his straw house and throw it in the flowing waters of the Ganga. O Brahmana ghuchaile gramer kushal, anyata yavane grame kori bekabal. When this Brahman ruins the prosperity of this village, the Yavanas will become powerful here. Gaudiya Bhashya. The Brahman Shivas has destroyed all auspiciousness in this village. When the influence of the Brahmins wanes, then the Yavanas will become prominent. E mata pashandi koroye kola holo, tatapiha mahabhagyavanta she shakala. In this way, the atheists made a great commotion, yet nevertheless, they were all most fortunate. Even though they made all this commotion, they were still fortunate. How were they most fortunate? Prabhu Shange ekatra janmila eka grame, dekhile ke shunile ka sheshava vidhane. Because they took birth in the same village as the Lord, and they saw and heard about his pastimes. Chaitanya gana sab mata Krishna rase, bahirmukha bhakya kichu karnina praveshe. The followers of Lord Chaitanya were intoxicated in the mellows of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, the statements of the materialists did not enter their ears. Jai Krishna Murari Mukunda Vanamali, Aharnisha Gai Sabek Hoi Kutuhali. Day and night, they happily chanted, Jai Krishna Murari Mukunda Vanamali. Aharnisha Bhakti Shange Nache Vishwambar, Shanti Nahi Karo Sabe Sattva Kalevar. Vishwambar danced day and night with the devotees. No one became tired, for they all had spiritual bodies. Vatsareka na matra koto juga gelo, Chaitanya anante keho kichu na janilo. A number of yugas passed as 1 year. A number of yugas have passed as 1 year, with no one understanding, due to the ecstasy of being with Lord Chaitanya. Jeno maharasa krira koto juga gelo, tilar deka heno shab gopika manilo. While a number of yugas passed during the Ras Lila pastime, the gopis thought that only a moment had passed. Gaudiya Bhashya. In this regard, one should discuss Srila Chakrabarti Thakur's Sarartha Darshini commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam 10.29.1 and 10.33.38. E mata achintya krishnera parakash, iha jane bhagyavanta chaitanyera das. In this way, Krishna manifests inconceivable pastimes that are known only to the fortunate servants of Lord Chaitanya. E mate nache Mahāprabhu Viṣṇu nishi avashesha matra sheka prahar. In this way, Vishvambar Mahaprabhu danced until only 3 hours of the night remained. Shaligrama Shila Shab Nija Kole Kori Utila Kirtana Chandra Khattar Upari. Śrī Caitanya-Chandra then took all the Shaligram Shilas on his lap and sat on the Singhasan. Mada Mada Kore Khatha Vishvambara Bhare Ate Vyate Nityananda Khatha Sparsha Kore. As the Singhasan made a cracking sound due to the weight of Vishvambar, Nityananda quickly touched it. Nityananda was the Adar Shakti. He's like the support Shakti, the foundation Shakti. Ananter adishtana hoilo katai, na bhangilo kata dole, Shri Gaurangarai. Lord Ananta manifested within the throne, so it did not break as Lord Gauranga comfortably sat on it. Chaitanya agyai sthir hoilo kirtan, kohe apanara tattva koriya garjan. On the order of Lord Chaitanya, the kirtan was stopped. Then the Lord loudly revealed his glories. Kali Juge Mui Krishna, Mui Narayan, Mui She Bhagavan Devaki Nandan. In Kali Yuga, I am Krishna, I am Narayan, I am the Supreme Lord, and the son of Devaki. Ananta Brahmanda Koti Maje Mui Nath, Jata Gao She Mui Tora Mordas. I am the Lord of innumerable universes. I am the object of all glorification, and all of you are my servants. Tosabar lagia amar avatar, Tora je deho she amar ahar. I've incarnated for your sake. Whatever you offer to me, that is my food. Amare se diacho shaba upahar, Shrivas bolen Prabhu shakal tomar. Actually, you have offered everything to me. Then Shrivas replied, O Lord, everything belongs to you. Prabhu bole mui iha kaimu shakal, Advaita boloi Prabhu boroi mangal. The Lord said, I will eat it all. I will eat it all. Advaita then said, O Lord, that would be most auspicious. Kore kore Prabhu re jogai shabadase, Anande bhojana kore Prabhu nijaveshe. All the servants of the Lord then happily offered various items with their own hands, and the Lord, in his own ecstasy, happily ate. Dadi khai dugda khai, navanita khai, arki achaye ano, bolaye sadai. As he ate yogurt and milk and butter, he repeatedly asked, bring whatever else you have. Vivida sandesha khai, Sharkara Mrakshita Mishra Narikela Jal Shasyer Sahitam. He ate various types of milk sweets mixed with sugar, as well as sugar candy and green coconut water with its pulp. Haribol Sudevi Didi. Kadalaka Chipitaka Bharjita Tandula Ar Ano Puna Bole Kaya Bahula. He ate bananas, flat rice, and puffed rice, and then repeatedly said, "Bring more! Ar Ano, Ar Ano." Vyavahare Jan Shata Duir Ahar Nimishe Kaya Bole Ki Achaye Ar. By ordinary Ki Achaye Ar. By ordinary calculation, the Lord ate in one moment enough food to feed 200 people. He then said, "Ki Achayar, what else do you have?" Gaudiya Bhashya. The word Vyavahare means according to worldly consideration. Prabhu bole, "Ano, ano, ano, eta kichui nai." Eta kichu nai. Bhakta sab trasapai sangai re goshai. The Lord said, bring more, there's nothing left here." The devotees then became frightened and remembered the Supreme Lord. Kara joda kori shab koi bhoy bani, tomar mahima Prabhu amra ki jani. All the devotees folded their hands and fearfully said, "What do we know of your glories?" Ananta Brahmanda ache jahara udare, tare ki koribo ek shudra upahare. With these insignificant offerings, how can we satisfy He in whose stomach innumerable universes rest? Prabhu bole, kudra nahe bhakta upahar, jhat ano, ki achai ar. Jhat ano, quickly bring. The Lord said, the offerings of a devotee are not insignificant. Therefore, quickly bring whatever you have. Quickly bring, ki achai ar, whatever you have. Gaudiya Bhashya. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 1081.3, it is stated, Anvapyupaharidam bhaktai premna bhuryeva me bhavet. I regard as great even the smallest gift offered by my devotees in pure love. Karpuratambula ache shunoho goshai, Prabhu bole tai deha kichu chintanai. O Lord, we have camphor and betel nuts. The Lord replied, don't worry, give them to me. Tai deha kichu chintanai. Ananda hoilo bhoy gelo shabakar, jogai tambul shabe jar adhikar. All the devotees became ecstatic, and their fears were dispelled, as those who were qualified offered the Lord betel nuts. Harishe tambula yogayena sarvadase, astapati loy prabhu sabha chahi hase. All the servants joyfully offered betel nuts, and the Lord smiled as he accepted them with his own hand. Dui chaku pakaiya koroye hunkar, nada 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 prabhu bole bar bar. The Lord rolled his eyes and roared loudly as he repeatedly called out, "Nada, nada, nada." Gaudiya Bhashya. Mahāprabhu loudly called out, "Nada, nada," while rolling his eyes. Kichui na bole keho mauna kori boshe, shakala bhakter chitte lagaye tarase. The devotees did not say anything, but sat down in silence as their hearts were struck with wonder. Mahashasti karta heno bhakta shabd heke heno shakti nahi karo hoibe sammukhe. All the devotees saw him as a supreme chastiser. They had no strength to stand before him. Nityananda Mahaprabhu shire dhore chati, jhoda kore advaita sammukhe kore stuti. Nityananda held an umbrella over Mahaprabhu's head, and Advaita offered prayers with folded hands before the Lord. Mahabhoy joda hate, sab bhaktagan, hento matha kori chinte Chaitanya charan. In great fear, all folded their hands and remembered the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya as they bent their heads down. E Aishwarya shunite jahar hoy sukha, she avasya dekhibo Chaitanya Shri Mukha. Anyone who is pleased to hear about this display of opulence by the Lord will certainly see the beautiful face of Lord Chaitanya. Jai Ho. Jai Khane Jai Ache She Achaye She Khane Tad Urdhva Hoite Keho Nare Agya Bine. One will understand these pastimes according to his qualification. No one can understand more without the sanction of the Lord. Varamago bole advaite ramo kachahi, tor lagi avatar mor e thai. The Lord looked at Advaita and said, "Ask for some benediction. I have descended here because of you." E mata shava bhakta dekhiya, mago bole Prabhu hasiya. In this way the Lord smiled as he looked at each devotee and said, Mago, ask for a benediction, ask for some benediction. Ask, Mago. Or beg. E mata Prabhu nija aishwarya prakashe, dekhi bhakta gana shuka sindhu maje bhashe. In this way the Lord manifested his own opulences. On seeing this, the devotees floated in an ocean of bliss. Achintya Chaitanya Ranga Bhujana Najai, Kshane ke Aishwarya Kori Puna Murcha Pai. No one can understand the inconceivable pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. One moment he displayed his opulences, and the next moment he fell unconscious. Bahya Prakashiya Puna Koroye Krandan, Dasya Bhava Prakasha Koroye Anukhan. On regaining his external consciousness, the Lord began to cry. He then continually cried in the mood of a servant. Gola dhori kandesha Vaishnava dekhiyas, bare sambhashe bhai Pandava prakash poliya. Sorry guys, let me reread that. I started falling asleep. And okay. Gola dhori kandesha Vaishnava dekhiya, sabare sambhashe bhai bandava boliya. The Lord put his arms around the devotees' shoulders and cried. He addressed each one of them as brother and friend, as bhai and bandav. Lokite na pare keho, heno maya kore, britya bina tar tattva ke bujhite pare. The power of his illusory energy was such that no one could recognize him. No one other than his servants can understand him in truth. Prabhur charitra deki hase bhaktagan, sabai bolen avatirna narayan. The devotees smiled on seeing the Lord's characteristics. They said, Lord Narayan has appeared. Kotokhan thaki Prabhu kathar upar, anande mor chitta hoila Shri Gaura Sundar. After remaining on the Singhasan for some time, Lord Gaurasundar fell unconscious in ecstasy. Dhatu matra nahi pori lena pritivite, Dekisha parishad lagila kandite. He fell to the ground with no symptom of life visible in his body. Seeing this, all his associates began to cry. Gaudiya Bhashya. Gaur Sundar fell unconscious to the ground out of ecstasy. The symptoms of his life force disappeared. All his associates began to cry. The word dhatu refers to the three elements, air, bile, and mucus. Sarva bhakta gan yukta korite lagila, ama sabha chariya vata kura chalila. Then all the devotees concluded that the Lord had left them. Never seen this word. What's that? Bhatakur. Jadi Prabhu e mata nishtur bhava kore, amaraho e khone charibo sharire. So the Lord concluded that the Lord had left them. They said, if the Lord displays such a cruel mood, then we will also give up our bodies at once. Ete kochintite sarva gera chudamani, bahya prakashiya kore mahaharidvani. While the devotees were thinking in this way, the crest jewel of all omniscient persons manifested his external consciousness and loudly chanted the name of Hari. Sarvagane utilo ananda kolaholo, na jani ke kon dige hoilo bival. They all raised a tumultuous sound of ecstasy. Being overwhelmed, they did not know where they were. E mata ananda hoy navadvipa pure, prema rase vaikunter nayaka vihare. In this way, various ecstatic pastimes took place in Navadvip, as the Lord of Vaikuntha enjoyed his pastimes of ecstatic love. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word Navadvipur refers to Gaudapur or Śrī Mayapur village. E shakala punya katha je kore shravan, bhakta shange gora chandre rahutarman. May the mind of one who hears these auspicious topics always remain at the lotus feet of Sri Gaurachandra, surrounded by his devotees. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chanda Jan, Vrindavana Dasa Tachu Padaju Gegan. Accepting Śrī Caitanya and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Thus ends the English translation of the Gaudiya Bhashya commentary on Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata, Madhya-khaṇḍa, Chapter 8, entitled The Manifestation of Opulences. One second, I'm just now. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Swaparshad Shri Gaur Hari Ki Jai. The Sankirtan pastimes of Mahāprabhu Ki Jai, the Lord's manifestation Ki Jai, manifestation of his opulences. Okay, so tomorrow, sorry guys, my brain's not working right now because I'm a bit tired. Tomorrow we're going to read the Lord's 21-hour ecstasy and descriptions of Sridhar and other devotees' characteristics. I'll just read this paragraph so we can see a synopsis of this chapter. This chapter describes Sri Gaurasundar's Sat Prahariya Mahaprakash. His Sat Prahariya Mahaprakash, or 21-hour divine manifestation, his sitting on the throne of Lord Viṣṇu, the performance of his abhishek by the devotees, the offering of prayers, and the worship of Mahāprabhu with 16 ingredients, according to the rules and regulations prescribed with the 10-syllable Gopal mantra, the Lord's eating foodstuffs offered by the devotees, Mahāprabhu's narration of the previous histories of devotees headed by Srivas, the devotees' performance of the evening arati, topics of the topmost devotee Sridhar, and the glories of Vaishnav's characteristics. So that's, we'll start reading that chapter tomorrow. And that will take us 3 days to read. There's 15,669 words. So that will take 3 days. All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Kishore Prabhu, would you like to do Jaidwani? Is Kishore there?
Sorry. What did you
No
ask?
worries. No worries. What did I missed what you said. You want me to do Jaidwani?
What did you ask? Oh,
I asked if we could do Jaidwani.
oh, okay. Sorry, my mom asked me to do something, so I left shortly. Yeah. Jai Nitai. Jai Suprikar Shishi Gurgaur Ranga Kan Harvita Kiritari. Radha Vinod Vihari Radha Naina Radhraman Vihari Radha Marva Shishi Radha Kunj Vihari Jeev Ki Jai. Sri Govind Govinath Madan Mohan Jeev Ki Jai. Jai Natya Leela Pravishtam Vishnu Parapanam Ham Sabrev Rachakshari Vriya Stotrishta Shishman Bhakti Vigan Bhariti Goswami Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Natya Leela Pravishtam Vishnu Parapanam Ham Sabrev Rachakshari Vriya Stotrishta Shishman Bhakti Vigan Narayan Goswami Maharaj Paripavan Shila Gurudev Ki Jai. जय नदिया लेला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति बलक तीर्थ गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय नदिया लेला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति पुराण वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय नदिया लेला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति पुराण त्रिविक्रम गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय नदिया लेला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान गुरुगण स्वामी महाराज की जय जय नदिया लेला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति स्वरूप दामोदर महाराज की जय जय नदिया लेला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति वैपाकुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय नदिया लेला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति प्रमोद हरि गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय नदिया लेला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय नदिया लेला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति विरांत स्वामी गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय जय नत्या लेला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति द्वैतमाद गोस्वामी परम गुरु महाराज की जय जय नत्या लेला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज परम गुरुदेव चारिकेश की जय जय नत्या लेला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त श्री श्रीमार परमहंस कुल स्वामी जगद्गुरु शिव वर्षवाना विद्वैत दास शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय स्वाप्रकार शिल प्रभुपाद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर महाशय की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद महापरम भगवत परवार परमहंस अष्टोत्तरस्त शिशुमाद गौर किशोर दास भविष्य महाशय की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद सप्तम गोस्वामी अष्टोत्तरस्त शिशुमाद सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाशय की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद वैष्णव सर्वम अष्टोत्तरस्त शिशुमाद जगन्नाथ पावशी महाशय की जय शिल भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय जय शिल जगन्नाथ पावशी महाशय की जय सूर्यकुंड वासी सिद्ध शिलमल सुंदस पावशी महाराज की जय श्री उर्वरा सुधन दास की जय गुरुविरांताचार्य शिष्यमान बलिदेव विभूषण प्रभु की जय महामहोपरित्याय रसक शर्मनेश्वर विष्णु चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर पार की जय जय शिल रसिकानंद मुरारी प्रभु की जय जय शिल रामचंद्र कविराज की जय जय श्री लोचन दास ठाकुर की जय जय शिल नरोत्तम श्रीनिवास श्यामानंद प्रभु त्राय की जय जय श्री कृष्ण दास कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। जय व्यास अवतार अर्का विशल वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्री अष्ट कविराज वसुरजान नित्यानंद तुरस गोपाल श्री चौषति महंत की जय। जय श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ शर गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर रमनंद लोकनाथ भूगर्भ आदि गौर परिषाद वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासरि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री शिल ईश्वर प्रिय स्वामी पाद की जय। श्री शिल माधवेंद्र प्रिय स्वामी पाद की जय। जय श्री अंतरदीप माय प्रसमंदीप गौतम दीप मध्यदीप कलिदीप ऋतुदीप जानुदीप माधुर द्रुमादीप रुद्रदीप मात्मक श्री नावदीप धाम की जय। श्री एक चक्र धाम की जय। श्री शांतिपुर धाम की जय। जय श्री मायपुर धाम की जय। जय श्री वसंगन की जय। जय श्री सचिदानंद गौर हरि गौर चंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री गौर श्रीवास की जय। श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री गौर गदाधर जीव की जय। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ गोपी कपा गौगिर गोपीनाथ वृषभ श्री ब्रजमंडल धाम की जय। जय श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गंग सत्यामन सखी तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय। वृषभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधारानी ठाकुरानी की जय। जय श्री ललिता विशाख चित्रा चंपकला तुंग विद्या इंदुलेख रंगरी विश्वदेव सत्य वृंद की जय। जय श्री आनंद प्रेम मंजलाल श्री रूप लवंग राघविल सुगुणरति कस्तूरी कमल नयन मणि अरिमंजारी वृंद की जय। जय श्रीमती वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भगवती पूर्णमास योगमाय देवी की जय। जय श्री गोपीश्वर सर शिव महादेव की जय। राधा पतन की तदाम श्री वृंदावन की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र नीलमाधव जीव की जय। श्री तत्व गोपीनाथ की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद आविर्भाव स्थली की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ पुरी पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र मंडल नीलाचल धाम की जय। सर्वा विघ्नविनाशन करे भक्त विघ्न विनाश सरीन्द्र सिंह देव की जय। मुक्तराज भक्त प्रवर श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। श्री प्रहलाद लक्ष्मेंद्र सिंह देव की जय। जय श्री चरिराम चरि संप्रदाय चरि आचार्य की जय। श्री मध्वार मनोज विष्णु स्वामी नंबरत्याचार्य आचार्य की जय। आकर मातरा श्री चैतन्य मान की जय। श्री गौरीमाद वृंद की जय। निरंतरा श्रीमाद भगवताम भगवद्गीता चैतन्य चरितामृत चैतन्य भगवत जैव धर्म आदि सर्व गौरी वैष्णव ग्रंथ वृंद की जय। रे भुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय। रे भुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन धर्म की जय। रे भुवन मंगल धन्य कलयुग तरक ब्रह्म श्री हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे महामंत्र की जय। श्री आनंद करि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री समकट गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। परम ब्रह्मन परमा सत्यम परमेश्वर पति पावन प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम स्वयं भगवान जगन्नाथ मिश्र नंदन गौर सुंदर गराधर प्राणनाथ श्री विशंबर मिश्र निमाय पंडित श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य चंद्र महाप्रभु की जय। अखंड गुरु अरि गुरु प्रभु भक्ति स्वरूप शिष्यल नित्यानंद राम महाजान हलदार बलराम की जय। शिष्यल वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्री गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। श्री गौर नित्यानंद अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्रीवासंगन की जय। महाप्रभु शंबर संकीर्तन लील की जय। जय श्रीवास पंडित की जय। जय श्री नारायणी देवी की जय। जय श्री चैतन्य भगवान की जय। जय श्री वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। जय शिल प्रभुपाद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर महाशय की जय। Upcoming Vyas Puja 150th Vyas Puja anniversary of His Divine Grace Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada Shri Varshabhana Vidvaita Das Mahashaya की जय। बोलो जय श्री निताय गौर प्रमानंदे हरे हरे बोल। ओम वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रयाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदेवी सत्यपिताय नमो नमः। पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय निताय जय गुरु जय प्रभु।
1 second. Sorry. Dandavat Pranams, Kishore Krishna Prabhu, Nari Hari Prabhu, and Bhavatarani Mataji, Shubhananda Prabhu, and Dandavat Pranams. Dandavats. And Vidya Lala Sadidi, Raseshwari Mataji, Ganga Mataji, Mahi Bharat Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams Prabhu. Prajumna yes. And Prajumna Prabhu, Mantra Murti Mataji, Sudevi Didi, and I see a bunch of others. If you write your names, then I can see who you are. Otherwise, I don't know who you are. Dandavat Pranams, everybody. So, I want to show you yesterday. So last night, I went to, I was in Mayapur all day yesterday for the celebration of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disappearance day. It was an amazing day, by the way. Padmanabha Maharaj gave. Sometimes Padmanabha Maharaj, sometimes when he glorifies Vaishnavas, he gets like really excited, and like this is one of those classes. Like he just really he spoke on, that poem that Srila Prabhupada wrote, "Adore ye all the blessed days sweeter than
the happy
blessed
days.
and sweeter than May." Yeah,
Yeah.
when he appeared
When
in
you appear in
Puri.
Puri,
So Padmanabha Maharaj went through each verse of that, and then he explained it, and then he went through Srila Sridhar Goswami, and it was a really nice class, like really, yeah. And then afterwards we went to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's Samadhi, and then we sang Sujanar Buddha Radhita Pada Yugam, and then Padmanabha Maharaj explained each verse. Like he explained all the meanings of the words and went deep into each verse, and then afterwards we went on darshan. So I took I took a couple pictures.
we sing that song, the poem Srila Prabhupada wrote for his Guru Maharaj Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. We put music to that.
Oh, you put music to that?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
One of these days we should, or if we can think.
But
you
I'd
got
love to hear it.
Yeah, you had to teach us how to do the sound suppression
turn
or
off
something.
Noise suppression.
Turn off. Yeah, I just, you were gonna send us a little note, but I know you're
actually,
so busy.
I don't actually know how to do it myself, but I'm sure it'd be easy to figure out. So let me I'm gonna put that on my to-do right now.
Thank you.
At how to turn off noise suppression. And then I'll look up for like a YouTube video that will show how to do it.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds like a wonderful day. Being there right at the spot. Wow.
Okay, so I'll look that up later.
There's a couple of things that we wanted to say something. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, no, the inauguration of the Harinam Sankirtan, it was like reenacting a little different circumstance, but it was globally happening that we were out there, and boy, it was less than friendly, the reception many times of the Harinam Sankirtan. Like here in Hawaii, they put everybody, women, children, everybody in cell.
There were 40 of us.
There was 40 of them.
In Waikiki.
And we were going,
and we were in rows, two of us, like rows, walking down the street, chanting and dancing, very nice and organized.
2x2s.
In 2x2s. And so we went one direction, and then when we came back, we were herded into a police van and taken to jail.
One van for 40
and charged with obstructing the sidewalk. And they put all the women in one cell and all the men in the other. And then we were chanting, and they said if we didn't stop, they would pour boiling water on us.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then
they were like threatening torture. Oh my God.
And then they took away our beads, so we tore cloth and we tied knots and chanted japa. He did the same thing, but we all thought of the same methods. And then they checked us out one by one, and the last person got to the temple just in time for Mangal Artik.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I had Nipana was a baby. I had her on my back in a backpack, and they called the temple when they arrested us, and they had someone come and get her, and
Like it was no
and
child
just
protection services.
they didn't have child protective services so much back then, so they didn't take people's
Yeah.
children away so much.
The same thing happened with Gopanandini Mataji also. Like they took Radhapriya away from her.
Oh,
then-
yeah.
And then afterwards, like they put Gopanandini had Radhapriya with her as a baby, and they took her away from her, and Gopanandini was in jail behind the bars, and then there's like a court appearance or whatever, and Gopanandini, like in her mind, she was so angry with the person who took away Radhapriya, and then she was like really angry and like cursed the person in her mind, and the next day the person got in an accident and like broke all the bones in his body. And then she's like, oh my God, she felt kind of bad like for thinking like that, because she's like, oh my God.
Right.
Like that. But yeah.
Mm.
Can I
Yeah.
tell my story?
Yeah, his story.
Oh. So all over the world was that like that. In America, like you said, I mean, some parents thought, you know, it was this propaganda, and this crusader, so-called, you know, for the programmer, was Ted Patrick, that was his name. It shows up in Hare Krishna, the movie, the mantra, and
Yeah, I
the
remember
yoga
that part.
song that started it all. That and that went to you know, there was a case finally that it went to Supreme Court, and Prabhupada loved it because he said, okay, well, you want evidence? Bhagavad Gita, sorry, the Srimad Bhagavatam, given Chaitanya Charitamrita, like that. He was ready to fight him, you know, for years. You know, he was a fighter. They will have to read all
That's
the evidence.
That's the Robin George case, right?
The Robin George case, you're right.
Yeah, my dad was very deeply involved with that case because my dad was a temple president of Laguna Beach, and
Right.
Robin George was in Laguna Beach, and so like my dad was very deeply absorbed in that whole case. He was going to all the
My brother-in-law too. She went to Canada, and he opened so many temples, Hanuman, with my sister, and she came there too, and like that. I remember seeing her in Los Angeles briefly. But yeah, at the end, the case was taken to the Supreme Court, where the judge declared that the Hare Krishna, the ISKCON, is a bona fide religion based on the Bhagavad Gita, and it's ancient scripture and like that. In Argentina, it was very heavy. So around the world, I mean, this is a world movement that Prabhupada started. So he created waves with a group of teenagers. So we were like little Arjuna among the Timengila fish of these big, huge religions, organized religions like the Catholics that in Argentina has so much power. And later, decades later, I met one devotee that I preached to, and she's now a sannyas and spirit, you know, gives initiation. And he said he was telling me that a pact by the church and the military has been formed in the countries of Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina, Chile, and Paraguay, and that's to confirm there will be only one religion, and that was a Christian Catholic Church faith. So every day going out, it was like we didn't know, but we were so enthusiastic. Prabhupada had instilled in us all that spirit. It was like Lord Chaitanya said, okay, I'm going out and I'm going to show the Kazi. Well, you know, everybody's so excited. That was the excitement that we going out every day. It was a challenge. It was like we were warriors, you know, but we're just kids, you know, we're like average of 18 years, you know, like that. And we even had a 16-year-old. We had 2 or 3 of them. I remember talking to the parents, you know, and convince them. I forgot about that. And then recently this devotee, she said, oh no, you're the reason why I was able to stay, because mom came to look for me, and you spoke to her and convinced her there was a safe, good place for me to be at, you know, like that.
She was
16. And so she was 16 years old. And I was like, we were so little, so few of us, that it was Hanuman who came, the sannyas, you know, and he was Canadian, he's Canadian, so we couldn't afford. We didn't have books then. Bhagavad Gita wasn't printed and like that, and so we I always make sure that in Spanish, and we always make sure that he had a route of escape, and so I will go and talk to. So we will go to the downtown area with like most people congregating in those days, and of course the shopkeepers were pretty upset because every time we started Harinam and we stop in corners, which 100 people would be there, just
They wouldn't go in the
they
stores.
wouldn't go in the stores, or they would block the entrances to the stores, and so the police was called, and so we were going to jail quite often. And I was the spokesperson, so I got to be known, and also registered the society, ISKCON Society, so they have my name, and so ended up that the Secret Service grabbed me one time, and they took me to the political jail. That later on it got filled up, and 30,000 people were killed, disappeared. This was just before that, and they were threatening. They didn't want us to chant. They said, "Who are you? What do you think you are? I can come out myself and do whatever religion I want. Do you think?" I said, "No, this is very." I was just like very calm. I don't know. Just Prabhupada entered my persona was like Abhaycharan. That's why I liked, call Prabhupada A.C. Bhaktivedanta, because that Abhaycharan, fearless. He was a fearless preacher who instilled in us all that spirit, that there'll be no fear. The Lord was there. So yeah, they threatened me to throw me down the elevator shaft and interrogated me for about 3 days. And all that was because we were doing Harinam. And, we had like mimeographed, pamphlets, who's a devotee. And there was a little article, probably, who's crazy. It was called. It was Krishna, the Reservoir. Krishna, the Reservoir of Pleasure. On one side of the paper. One side of the paper. It was a pamphlet. It was a 2-4 page.
But it front and back. If you turned it over, it was like the front page.
Yeah, so we had that translated in Spanish.
The front,
we're copying that. Until my sister came in.
Our pleasure, and the other one was who is crazy.
Yeah, and then I was translating, feverishly, and my sister was she had her own company and advertisement. So before she joined, and she knew all the printers, everything, and she was a very good graphic designer. So we had a Back to Godhead that we made with colors, not full color or like that. But yeah, that was the spirit. That it wasn't easy. That was the inauguration. So there was some parallels to that. Of course, that was serious in those days. I mean, the Muslim king, would just not only take your caste away, but if you go to jail, you get beaten and tortured, and who knows if you come out.
Did I tell how when I went to?
I just wanted to say that it was someone, and then the rest is amazing. The opulences of the Lord.
After I joined in Hawaii, and then I went to my hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, and my cousin was the mayor, and the devotees were being thrown in jail every day for chanting, trying to distribute back to Godheads. So I went with Balavanta to visit my cousin in the capital. And we took a tray of prasadam and a teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and we told him the story of the Kazi, and he made an ordinance following at City Hall. He made an ordinance following the Kazi's ordinance that the devotees could chant, dance, distribute books.
Wow.
Within the city limits of Atlanta, Georgia.
That's so nice to see all the. You got to live in Mahaprabhu's pastimes almost, right? There's all the parallels.
Yeah. It wasn't quite the same. We didn't have a huge Sankirtan party, and the demigods didn't join us.
Well, we don't know. Well, Prabhupada, in San Francisco, Prabhupada, in 74, when it was declared that San Francisco, your father was there, everybody was there. And then when we went back to the temple, Prabhupada said, didn't you see even Narada Muni was there? It was that brahmachari, the fat brahmachari. I think I told you this one. Yeah, that fat brahmachari that nobody paid attention to. And I swear I saw him. I said, because I was very good at remembering faces, and I knew all the devotees from the West Coast. We weren't that many, you know, and all the country. I mean, we only have one Rath Yatra. That was it. It was San Francisco Rath Yatra. So yeah, I mean, in other occasions, Prabhupada said, yeah, you know, Shukadev was here and like that, but yeah, of course, we didn't have the vision. But anyhow, I'm sorry if I made it too long, but yeah, just it was a contrast to the inauguration of the Sankirtan.
I just wanted to mention,
it was that, you know.
I just wanted to
the
mention
burden of
that I have a really nice book.
Oh, yeah, but
by-
before I forget, Anjali, she has sent on Facebook the article in the newspaper, 1937, March 7th, of the disappearance, announcing the disappearance of the founder of Gaudiya Math. There's a photo of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and I think maybe you'll be able to get hold of it. I asked Bhattacharya to get a screenshot.
Screenshots.
Because I'm not very well versed, but it's somehow.
What was written in Ananda Bazar Patrika?
It was a newspaper, but I don't know if that's the paper.
Oh, I think Shubhanandru shared that with me also. Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
Did you see it? You got it?
I'll have to check. Yeah, yesterday I had a busy day, so I wasn't able to. But yeah, I think it's, yeah. I have to go soon because I'm here alone now, and so I need to do all that and cook and do all that for Thakur. And
I know how that is. It's lengthy. So thank you so much for hearing this. I just had to say something because the parallels were so amazing.
I can tell them about tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes.
Tomorrow she will tell you everything.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you. And I pronounce the all, then I speak to you. Thank you.
Keep your Thakurji's waiting.
Hare Krishna, everybody.